I know it's cheesy, but we really are a family here together, so.
Are you feeling okay overall? You like that new trait? So-so?
The interview day was kind of really what sold me on it. I think, you know, the reputation, the training is fairly well known, but it was very apparent early on that, you know, the residents had a great culture, the attendings were a pretty ingrained big part of it.
I think it's really tough when you're a med student trying to like picture, you know, what is actually going to be important to me when I'm a resident.
It was a really good balance of a really strong academic program that would prepare me for my future, prepare me to do a fellowship if I wish to do so, but also really laid back people that seemed approachable and seemed like I could ask any question to that came up during the day.
The interactions that I saw the attendings having with the residents and the residents having was just a really collegial sort of atmosphere, a really friendly place to be, and a place that I could picture myself being for 5 years.
Happy hour night? Are you going to happy hour? I'm not. I'll be there. I remember one of my first overnight calls, I think it was 4th of July, because I worked that first weekend. Tyler was on with me, one of our PGY4s, and we got 3 back-to-back consults. But I was like, oh my God, these all came in 10 minutes. Like, I have to go manage all these. But I just talked to my chief, and he's like, hey, yeah, we have a busy schedule. Like, I'm gonna go do this one, you go do that one, and then we'll meet up and do the third together. I'm like, okay, thanks for helping. And so it's nice to know that you have people behind you at all times. So even when things feel overwhelming, everyone's always super helpful.
I really like our call structure. I feel like it's incredibly fair. So essentially as interns, you don't take call at all. And then for the 2s and 3s, you do junior in-house call. And then the 4s and 5s will take home call as like the senior person on call. During the day, we have a consult resident, which I think is a big strength as well. So you're not having to divide your opportunities or time between clinic and the OR and have to like, you know, scrub out to go see consults or leave clinic to try and like squeeze in a consult.
I rotated here as a medical student and immediately felt just the culture here and the atmosphere of both the resident and attending relationship, which is a close one, but also one of, incredible mentorship.
The leadership team seemed really approachable and really for the residents. So we have Dr. Labadie, Dr. Meyer, and Dr. Clemens, and they're kind of chairs and PDs and associate PDs.
After being here, I can definitely attest to the fact that the attendings are world class. They are incredible surgeons, incredible teachers. We attract really strong fellows, so we get to learn a ton from our fellows, and they will provide additional learning opportunities.
Even as I interviewed at programs all across the country, I felt like the training here was very well-rounded.
It's important because historically, only ether way back in the 80s, ether and lasers had the potential to kill everyone in the room if used incorrectly.
This is kind of lame, but I feel like my favorite part has been lectures. We all sit in one room together. It's kind of how we've gotten to know the seniors, answer questions, meet attendings that come in and speak to us. I look forward to it every week.
Challenges for me was I didn't really know anyone in Charleston. I came from Southern California. The first couple months were a little bit of a transition, but really what I noticed is that the people, all the residents, really kind of take you under their wing. I spent a ton of time with all my co-residents and created great friendships, and so that really helped kind of transition to living here.
The favorite part is honestly the people, especially the residents. We hang out all the time, we get along very well, and that makes it much easier to go through residency.
I couldn't want a better place to be a resident at. The people is really what made it for me. The interactions between the attendings and the residents and the relationship that all the residents have with each other was huge. These are really people that I'm gonna know for the rest of my life. The relationships that I've created for the last 5 years. Couldn't be happier with the teaching that I've gotten, the program, and they've really set me on a good course to sort of practice ENT in the future.
We're the major head and neck cancer center for a very large area of the map, and that means a lot of learning opportunities, a lot of cases, a lot of, unfortunately, big tumors and big cancers, but that does provide a lot of learning opportunities for us to learn how to treat these patients.
Laryngology is something we do a lot of in our intern year. We spend a lot of time with Dr. Halstead and with Dr. O'Rourke, two of our laryngologists. During our first year, we're on ENT for 6 months, and in 6 months we do off-service rotations, which include various general surgery rotations, the emergency department, and anesthesia. And in laryngology clinic, we have a really excellent opportunity to scope patients. By the end of our first year, we're all very, very comfortable scoping patients on our own, which is really helpful for second year and third year when we start taking consult.
Charleston's a great place to live. It's very easy to live in. I love sort of like the ease of when you're not in the hospital, accessibility of beaches, accessibility of other outdoor activities.
The beach is hard to beat.
There's great food, great weather.
It's nice to be able to have something nearby enough that feels also like an escape.
Something that I really like about Charleston is all the different opportunities you can do here.
It's just very easy. I don't have to spend hours in line at a grocery store, hours in traffic every day.
Bye.
People love it here, and that's what you'll find is people really do love it here.
Now we're in art. It's kind of one of the central buildings on main campus. Right now we're about a 5-minute walk from Main, which is behind us. Yeah, over at Main we have our 7 West nursing station. We have all of our inpatients over there. Our call room is right around the corner from there. And then about an 8-minute walk, 3 minutes from Main behind me is also our Rutledge Tower. So we do a lot of outpatient surgery there. We have the clinic space.
So I think one of the most important things to mention about Charleston, in addition to how fun it is, how in some ways small and intimate of a setting it is. Sometimes we come out here to the 7th floor of Sean Jenkins Children's Hospital just to have breakfast or coffee or lunch. Giving out onto the Ashley River, we can see down to the Battery, we can see 2 of the suburbs that residents live in. To my right now, I can see West Ashley, where I live, as well as James Island, and then one of our colleagues lives just across the street.
That building right there.
You can see downtown where people like to go out, where some of the best restaurants and nightlife in Charleston is. It's historically important. The first shots of the Civil War were fired within a couple miles of here. And then Mount Pleasant you can see out there. We spend a lot of time sort of in all of these places. We have 2 awesome beaches that are kind of within a stone's throw. Folly Beach in that direction and Sullivan's Island in that direction.
And I think it's like honestly one of the most balanced programs out there. I think you can attain a little bit of a work-life balance where you're working really, really hard when you're in the hospital, but then you have a little bit of time outside of that to enjoy Charleston and enjoy spending time with each other too.
Don't be tepid just because it's a program far away from, if you're from the West Coast, the Midwest, if you're from New England, it's been a great experience. There's something for everyone down here. And I think anyone from any region can really thrive in Charleston. And
where do you want to spend 5 years of your life? This is a big portion of our, training, but it's also a big portion of your life with your family, whether you're single, you're married, you have dogs, you have kids. You're going to be spending 5 years of your mid-20s to around 30 in a city, and Charleston's a pretty great one to spend that kind of time.
So intern year, you spend 6 months on ENT, kind of rotating on and off, and then you do 6 months in different general surgery rotations, just kind of getting the hang of hospital medicine, floor work, calling consults, suturing, things along those lines. And then you spend more and more time in clinic with our laryngology team, with our otology team, just kind of getting the basics. And then as you go on, kind of each year is a little bit more operative heavy, a little bit less clinic time. Head and neck cancer you have a pretty good amount of every year as you go along. And then the big transition between 3rd and 4th year is from junior to senior resident. So you spend, more time leading rounds. You're kind of putting the schedule together for the week, telling the junior residents what they'll be doing. When you're on call, you always have a junior resident with you who's going to see things first, and then they present it to you, and then you'll talk the attending. So just a little bit more responsibility as you go.
Decreased time of anesthesia. I think it's the whole package. I think we're well-rounded across all the subspecialties. The attendings are awesome. They're very approachable. They're great research mentors. The peers are great, very fun at work. It's a very open environment, as I said, where you're never hesitant to ask a question. Our senior residents especially are very intent upon teaching. I think they do a great job of that. And then lastly, you have to think about all the things you want out of the hospital, and when it comes to MUSC, the city is easy to live in, the weather is great, the outdoor opportunities are incredible, the water's nearby, the food scene's awesome. It's a great place to be young and to work.
I think what you see is what you get in terms of how we all are expressing how we like this program. I think this all comes from a very genuine place, and I have no regrets whatsoever coming here.